Okay, so as promised, I'm going to give you my little unboxing video of the Guitar Fetish stuff that I just ordered from their website. My plan is to make a full guitar with just their stuff to see how good it is. And I've heard quite a few things from some people saying they think I will be pleasantly surprised. I already obviously opened the box, but I haven't really gone through stuff really in depth, so I thought I would just start with the big stuff that I pulled out. So, number one, pick guard. Came in the kit. Just a 3-ply. I mean, hard to screw this up, I would hope. It was pretty jaggedy on the inside of where all the cuts were. I thought it looked pretty bad, but it turns out it was just the plastic covering, which I already pulled off. Just a plain white pickguard. I don't foresee any problems. There's that. It came, I knew it was supposed to come with everything to finish the kit completely, except for the finish on the guitar. So here's the control plate, which I found really interesting because it's already wired up. Not what I expected at all. I thought I would have to do everything, so there's even less to do. Obviously this came from China. You can tell by the 3-way switch, the style it is. It is a 3-way, not a 5-way. So I'm going to have to figure out exactly how this is all wired up. However, I seem to have my ground and my hot out and everything all ready to go. I just gotta hook the pickups straight up to here, so that kind of surprised me that it was all done like that already for me. It saves me a little bit of work. Not too much, but, you know, it's something. Also came with one of those cheap little patch cords you used to be able to get with your old Samick or Squire, that kind of thing. Nice little touch, I guess. Here is the bag full of hardware. Let me see if I can pull this out one-handed. They have a full set of strings. That was interesting, I thought. No bag or anything, just like that. Here looks... what's in here? Be able to put this phone down. There we go. And everything goes everywhere. Okay. Tuning machines. These look like they will probably work without too much issue. They don't have the... I like that they've got the screw instead of those little hidden... whatever you call them. The little knobs that stick out. So these will all be 6 in line because I got a Tele kit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we are. What else have we got? We've got all of the screws stuck to the pickups. Okay. These are like OEM factory pickups. That'll be the bridge and the neck. I won't be using these because I picked up some aftermarket pickups that were also Guitar Fetish pickups. So it's still going to be a full-blown GFS build. They recommend getting other pickups. You can't swap them out with a price difference for these OEM pickups, but that's not a big deal. Oh, these are really stuck together. Okay. Got some more screws. Anyway, there's that and that. I'll go through and make sure there's no pieces missing. Anyway, neck plate with a nice little plastic plate for underneath it, just like Warmoth hands out. So that's handy, that's super nice. And the bridge which looks to me like it's nice quality. I'm glad that I've got individual bridge saddles. I'm not a big fan of the old traditional Tele style with 2 strings on each saddle. I mean, I can't see any reason why that needs to be any more complicated. That'll work great. I have a plan to use... It's just me, or are those really long? Anyway, I have a plan to use a GK3 pickup that I have gutted. And I could probably drill straight through this. Drill some holes to screw it straight onto the wood underneath. I think there should be enough room there. But I don't see anything wrong with the hardware. It doesn't need to be terribly sophisticated. With the way I'm going to paint mine, it would have been nice to have black hardware, but I'm not going to complain. So there's all that. What else we got? I also got this. This has nothing to do with the guitar kit. This is just some conductive paint for the cavities. I'm not a tinfoil kind of guy. I know a lot of people don't believe in shielding. But this is not too much of a problem to take care of, I think, with just the paint. What else? What have I got? I picked up some heat shrink, just some heat shrink tubing. There's various sizes in here. Just because I tend to be messy with my cable management and splicing, so that's going to be handy. I picked up 3 spools of wire. This is 24 gauge, I believe. What does it say? Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, 24 gauge stranded wire. I've got a lot of solid core wire, but I think the stranded wire would be a little better for working inside the guitar. Here are the pickups that I ordered. The aftermarket GFS pickups. It was a little puncher set with hot lead calibrated. I guess I get 3 different windings. So here's the neck. I believe that would be the neck. It's a nice little Tele-sized rail-style humbucker. And here's the bridge. No, sorry. That's the bridge, that's the neck. Look at that. I've heard good things about these pickups. Not specifically this model, but that the GFS pickups are surprisingly good for what you would expect to pay for a set. It cost me $50 for this set. So. They have wiring schematic, or diagram anyway. That's nice and helpful. Cool. So there's all the hardware. Now to the real part that we all want to know about. The body. So I didn't get a picture of my actual body. I just ordered from the website that I wanted a kit. I ordered one with a rosewood fingerboard on the neck, which cost me an extra $5. Not a big deal because the kit cost $90. I must say, the grain doesn't. It's kind of nice. I thought it might be kind of an ash, but this is actually probably more like a poplar or something. It's really light. It's so light I can't really describe it. Way lighter than I expected. The wood feels kind of soft. It's definitely not as hard as maple. Not that you would do a solid body with all maple. And it's a 3-piece. You can see the line here. The other line down here is kind of hard to see on the front. On the back you can see it really well. Right there. Going across just on the bottom. The grain on the back here is really nice for what my plan was, to do a sandblast type finish, where I'm going to blast it first, then stain it, then sand it, then stain it again the lighter color. I think it'll look pretty nice. I think it'll work with this. It's a little rough. It would use some sanding if I wasn't going to just blast it anyway. I can see a few spots here that looks like they might have used some wood filler. And around the edge. I saw a few things anyway. There we go. You can see something in there. Looks like it might be some filler. I mean, no big deal. We're going to paint this all up anyway. I mean, it looks like a true to form Tele body. It doesn't look like a fake body. What I mean is like one that's been reconfigured to avoid copyright problems or anything like that. And I'm going to have to make sure my measurements are correct and drill my pilot holes for the bridge and all that kind of stuff. So the neck pocket came pre-drilled. It's got a nice square Tele neck pocket there. I'm of the camp that believes that if you're ordering from Warmoth, you should get a Strat neck pocket for your Tele, even if it's a Tele. And then the neck, which I was most concerned with, is actually not too bad. The fretboard doesn't overhang, which is nice with the pickguard and everything. The frets are nice and clean on the edge. They clean them up nice. The rosewood is much darker than I expected. I don't know if this is doing a ton of justice for it or not on my camera, but I expected that kind of really light, crappy colored stuff you see on like the J Tercer guitars. There's a couple of little like weird blemishes here, right there and up here. Hopefully a little bit of lemon oil will, I mean, that's not going to bug me when I'm playing it, so I don't think so anyway. The dots are all in the right spot. The inlays are nice. The headstock is, I mean, it's got all the right contours and everything. I can cut it to whatever shape I want. The one thing, unless I missed it over here somewhere, it doesn't look as though I have a nut. Oh, yes I do. There's the nut. So I gotta install my own nut. Never done that before. That will be fun. It doesn't look like it's going to be much of an issue. So, let's see, what else can we take a look at? This video is getting long. The neck pocket fit is not super snug, but it's not horrible. There it is. You can see a bit of a gap on the bottom. It's hard to hold with one hand. You can see it mostly fits nicely in there. Just that bottom's a bit loose, and then of course because there's nothing on this side holding it, it wobbles a bit, but I'm sure once I screw it in, it's not going to be too bad. Overall, I'm impressed with this being a $90 kit, plus an extra $50 for the pickups. Next thing to do is going to be sandblast the body, and find some dyes that'll work, some stain, or paint. I think I'd rather keep it transparent if I can, but we'll see. And then get some oil for the neck. Maybe somebody can enlighten me. I don't know if you can use like a tongue oil finish on a maple neck properly, or if it needs to be like a hard finish, like a nitro or something. But anyway, I'm excited to get going on it. So far, I'm impressed with the quality for what little bit I paid for it, even if I had to pay an extra $20 duty at the border. Routing looks good. A little bit of junk in there, but not much more than what you'd normally expect. And I am excited to finally have a Telecaster. That might be a MIDI Telecaster if I can manage to get that GK pickup in there with all the controls. So, stay tuned for the next movie.